Hi, I'm Shawna Apps, owner and artist of Back to the Drawing Board. Welcome to my studio. I don't think I ever got into art. I think it's just always been there. I feel like it was something that I was born to do. I walked away from it actually in middle school. I didn't get along very well with one of my art teachers, and so I walked away from it. And it wasn't until I went to college, when I was trying to be triple certified as a science teacher, that I had to take an art class as a requirement. And my projects, that's all I wanted to do. I was skipping lunch with my friends and dinner, and all I wanted to do was my art projects. When I do my drawings, I tend to use graphite pencils, and I like to do animals and landscapes, and I like to do that more of a realistic setting. With my watercolors, I do realistic landscapes as well, and then when I do my oil paintings, I actually I finger paint those rather than use brushes. So I do the landscapes as well, but it's more of an impressionistic quality to those. I do some nerdy art once in a while. I am a huge geek, and I love anything very nerdy. That wasn't something that was originally on my radar for me to do. But a friend actually commissioned a Lord of the Rings drawing one year for a mutual friend for Christmas. We took some of the favorite parts of the Lord of the Rings series and put them all into one drawing, and then I did Rivendell, and I've done a couple others. I'm working on one from The Hobbit of the city of Dale with Erebor in the background. It makes my heart happy. I hope that my art causes people to stop and look not just at the beauty of the painting, but like the beauty of the different colors in the ocean waves, or the different colors of the trees or the cloud formations, and get inspired to actually stop and take time during the day to look up at the clouds. When they go to the beach, not to just sit there with a book in their hands, but to actually watch the ocean roll, and the way that the foam plays on the sand, and the way the sand moves, to just stop and really look at the world around them. In 2014, I opened up Back to the Drawing Board, and what took that full time. And one of my best friends, her dad, followed me and watched me for a while. And then later that year, he decided he was going to write a children's book series, and he emailed me and said, would you be willing to illustrate with me? These are a few of my final Boathouse Mouse illustrations for our children's book series. They are all done in watercolor and pencil and ink. And then I scan them in to the computer, and then I will color correct them for the final illustrations when we do layout. And then there's a lot of steps that take to get to there. So for the first book, the author would send me some of his cute little sketches about what he thought the illustrations would look like. And then I would do a tiny little thumbnail sketch, kind of getting a feel for what the composition might look like. And then that would turn into the final color sketch when I started this business. There definitely have been some sacrifices that I've had to make. I give up weekends sometimes with my kids to do a festival. You know, I give up, time in the afternoons to get caught up on chores because I've spent the day drawing. And that's really hard for me. I take my job as a mom very seriously, and as a wife and a stay-at-home mom, that's a lot of responsibility. I don't think I have found the balance between being a full-time mom and having a full-time job. That is something that I definitely struggle with. Like, there are some days where I do all art and then dishes don't get done, and laundry doesn't get done. But then there's days where my kids need me more and the art completely gets put on the background. It's just being willing to be flexible, taking it day by day, and just planning out when I'm going to draw or paint and doing it when I can. It's hard, especially, festival season for me starts in mid-August. My kids go back to school early September, so I'm giving up the last couple of weeks to really start getting into festival season, but just trying to be mom first and artist second is where I'm at. That's the season of life I'm in right now. The advice that I have for other artists or creative people in general who want to get into something like this is advice that I need to take myself regularly, is to just do a little bit a day. Just do even just a squiggle a day, carve 5 minutes out of your day, half an hour out of your day, and just do something. Thank you so much for visiting my studio. I hope you really enjoyed getting an insight into my work, and go out and be creative.